Okay, hello, this is Foodie. So I'm right now recording um, the demo for assignment 3. So here I'm gonna start with the third part, which is communicating to the news article API. Starting with the front end HTML, you have a search box and a submit button. And once you submit the query will be set as a parameter of the URL along with the API key, and then this will be packed into HTTP GET request and then send it to the API. So here here's the response object. So the API will return me with the JSON object. So in this part, I'm gonna interpret the JSON object. So I created 4 string arrays, which are the 4 fields from the JSON object that I wanted to display on the JSP: the snippet source, web URL, and section name. And here is just to store all those things into the string array. And then here's the for loop to put those string arrays into the new spin. So the new spin is just respectively for the 4 fields that I want to display. So once I created the news bin, I'm gonna store it into an array list, and then the request dispatcher will send it to JSP. So here is the request attribute to send the request to JSP. So once the JSP page got the request, they will display it using expression language. And here's the for each loop, retrieving the information from the array list news object, displaying the 4 fields that I wanted to see. So if I want to run the front end, it will look like this. Run on server. So say if I want to see Boston, news about Boston, then it will display the section and the snippet, source, and the URL. So that's part 3. Going to part 2 of this assignment is just to redo assignment 2. So starting with the index page, you can choose to go to a fill out form and then request information retrieval. So it will look like fill out form, request information retrieval. And if you go to fill out the form, it will take you to my servlet. Oh, sorry, it won't take you to my servlet, but my servlet will receive the request and then process it. So request get parameter, the field name, and then store it into the new servlet bin, which has all the fields, and then the request that set attributes will just send the bin into JSP, which is the first JSP. The first JSP receives it and then displays it into the client side with all the information there. And then if you choose to request information retrieval, you'll take the MyServlet 2 will take over the request and then process it. So basically there are 3 tables around C. First is the path table, which contains URL, URI, and servlet path. The information get from the request. And then second table is the header with the header name and the header. There, the third part is the session. And once I have those information, I use request set attributes to send it to JSP. So this will go to the second JSP. The second JSP take over, read all those attributes into the string variable. So this will be displayed, the string variable will be displayed here into the table. So how this thing would look like. So if you choose browser form, this is just for demo purposes. So that all the first one there. And then for address, just type in randomly and then send, and then you will get all this information displayed back to you on the JSP page. So if you go back, request information retrieval, then all the HTTP request information will be displayed on these 3 tables from the JSP page. So that's the end of my demo. Thank you very much.